Hi and welcome to the market alert for Thursday, the 3rd of September 2020. So the S&P reaches critical resistance, valuations at record high as liquidity crashes. But as it says here, party on, because they want the market higher. Also in today's market alert, I want to show you something I spotted yesterday. There is a disconnect between the VIX volatility and also the Dow, which I've never seen before. What's actually going on, I don't know, but it's going to be very interesting to see how it unfolds. So we'll cover this later on. But first, let's have a look at yesterday's trades in the German DAX. Yesterday's trading session was a very interesting one. The morning session was one direction, and then the afternoon the market got into a trading range. And as I've said many times in the market alert, there is one afternoon in the month where it really is tough to trade, and that was yesterday. So let's get it out of the way early on in the month. But in the morning session, the market started off as we'll see in just a second. There we go, moving to the upside, then back to the downside. Now watch the 200 MA, the BRN, and in particularly the 20 bar moving average here, and the volume, because prices fail to break this, and you can see the volume increasing at these levels, and then prices start to move higher and break out above the resistance to the left here. And you'll see exactly that happening in just a moment as I move forward on the chart. So we trade up to the BRN, and then we start moving towards the high, which I'd mentioned in yesterday's market alert about how important these levels are. We've got some selling pressure here at the moment, but the market is heading in the right direction. All the bars are green, and what I'm doing here is looking at the daily chart. I want to see how much this has got on the upside, and you can see the selection of fibs that I drew in, and also the high from the from the 26th of August. That's back in July. We've got this high here, but there's also this one here, which you'll see me add in as we go forward in the trades. So the market's already hitting the 62% retracement. The next one to the upside is the 78. So now I'm going to move forward. You can see prices continuing to drive higher there, and we head up towards the high. We get some selling as soon as we hit the high, profit taking there, one of the highest volume bars of the morning. No surprise there, but the market's staying above the 5 bar moving average at this point, and we're on a roll here to actually try and move the market to the upside. And again, straight through the R1, and just come back to the daily chart. So again, you can see we've broken the 62, we're heading up to the 78 now. So by combining the two, I can see where this market is likely to move to. And now we're stopped at the BRN and the R1. And again, we've got some profit taking, which we'd expect at this level. But prices are still above the 5 bar moving average. Prices come back, they close below the 5 bar and then immediately close back above. And then, as you'll see in a moment, as we go back and consult the daily chart, we are heading higher. It's a bit of a sideways move at the moment. We've got to get back above that R1 level, and also stay above the high as well, which prices are managing to do. And then we once again move higher. And I'm going to go back and look at the daily chart, which has just flashed by. So now we've hit the 78. The next one is the 89 fib retracement there. So now we're sitting on the BRN. We've got a bit of potential weakness there. A lot of volume in that bar for the size and the range. So if the market holds at the BRN, then we continue to the upside. It closes below, but immediately whips back to the upside, and as you'll see in a moment, I drew it. If we could take this out, and then again prices stuck in that sideways range, now finding support at the 20 bar moving average. This bar here as well, a lot of volume for its size compared to the previous bar. Not as much as I would hope for. It would have been great if it had been equal to it, but it's certainly 80% of it. And once again, closing back above the 20 bar moving average, and then back above the 5. Whoops, let me just come back, and now I'm looking to see where we are with regards to the 89, and then eventually the market will break through. So I'm just going to fast forward, and there you see the market drive straight through and then head towards the 89, which again was drawn in prior to all of this. So I'm just going to move forwards, and let's just have a look in the daily chart again. So now you can see that I've drawn on the high of this bar, which goes back to the 26th of August. That was the one I was thinking of, not this one. But you'll see that one being added to the chart later on. So then prices continue to move higher. Let me just go back to the daily charts through the 89, and then as we head in towards the 10 a.m. there you go, you can see we're still stuck at 89. I'm just going to fast forward here. Now we'll get through this. Again, we've got some profit taken at these levels, which is no surprise, the previous highs. And then you'll see there we go through and we hit that 13260 from the 26th of August. So all of those drawn in beforehand in yesterday morning's market alert, and that's where the market traded to, just around the R2, which you can see there the market now hitting. But you can see how the market stayed at this level, and then after it closed I stayed on for a bit, and let me just fast forward this. Oh, I don't think I actually drew it in when I was recording. Oh, I did. Here it is. So what I did here, I wanted to see if the market could get to this level here, the 13318. And if I just draw this a bit slower, you can see the orange line there on the chart. If I expand this just a bit, you might be able to see me drawing that. If I go back, it'll be just a little bit further back. There you go. So at this point, I've taken note of that figure. I haven't got anything I can associate it with on the chart, so I've just added it in there to see if the market had the momentum to actually trade up to this. You'll see me just bringing it down to the correct figure, and it's around there somewhere. Just one more tick to there we go. So that's off the daily chart, 3318, and the market didn't actually trade to it. It just stayed at the BRN, traded towards it, but then made its way lower throughout the rest of the morning as profit taking came into this and the Dow. But it was a good trade nonetheless for the morning. I mean, the market just moved as per what I noted in the market alert yesterday morning, and all of those fibs, and you saw the market trading through those, and they were great markers. The only one it didn't go to was the 13318, the orange line, and you can see how the market had travelled down to this. Then we had the ADP numbers. They were good, but the market didn't really react to it. Just sat on the 200 MA, and then in the afternoon it was just an absolute torture because the market wouldn't react to anything. It was as if it had had the move in the morning, used all of its energy, and then the afternoon it just couldn't summon that up to actually move higher. But we're going to go through it because that's all part of trading. This is, like I said at the beginning, we get days when the market will do this. You get the one afternoon in a month, and yesterday was that afternoon. So you can see the market moving higher. I mean, we had a nice green bar here, and then prices shooting up to the BRN and above the 200 MA. But then from this point forward, things just didn't pan out. We had the market going through the entry price, and then you just watch the volume and the weakness come into the market there. Massive volume. It's far greater than the previous bar. Lots of pressure, and the market just wouldn't move. The Dow was trying to move higher, but that also failed. We're stuck at the BRN. We have some buying there, but it's just not enough to actually drive prices higher. And eventually we come back, we see the selling there, just said, okay, we can't go up, we need to shake this out. But I was hoping it was going to stop at the 200 MA, but you know, as we'd seen earlier, but it didn't. It just went straight through and stopped the trade out, which is a bit galling. And that just set the tone for the afternoon, to be honest with you, because then the market stopped it out, reversed, and came back. And then we had a second buy signal, and of course the market filled this. But now we've got this here and here. We've got to overcome this. And it's a case I've got to take the trade because, you know, when I showed you the 13318 level, the orange line on the chart, if we'd have carried on, there's every chance we could have gone to that. And if I wasn't in it, I can't make up what I've lost here. I mean, that's just par for the course. That is trading. So once again, I see the market failing at this level. We've got that resistance to the left. We're trying to hold at the 200 MA. And once again, prices come back and it's just not going anywhere. So we decided to say, okay, right, I'll cut this one, let the market sort itself out. And then we ended up with a sell signal, and the market then started to trade sideways back to the 20 bar moving average. Put a green bar in, but no reversal signal, and then filled the downside. And then this was a real test of endurance as well, because the only saving grace here, I thought, well, I can hang in on this trade because we've got the 200 and the BRN there. We've got this resistance and this. So hopefully we'll get a move to the downside and through the scalp, and hopefully down to the BRN. So the market came racing back, traded up to the 200 bar moving average, and then we see the selling coming in. But prices now above the 200 bar moving average, so I thought this is going to be another one of those. But as soon as it spiked to the 200 bar moving average, you'll see it just whip straight down, and then prices sold off. The mistake I made in this one, I didn't come out of this soon enough, because I was watching the volume here, and you can see how it became greater than the down bar to the left of it, and you can see how they brought the market back here, and really given the coming out just after break even here, and the 27-point loss there was to actually really get out of the trade, but I didn't. I'd move the stop to break even just to see if the market would move lower. Then once prices started to trade above the 5 bar moving average, got out with a few points profit. And then here we go again. We've got the 200 MA in the way, and we can see what's happened here already, and we've got this resistance here. But as I said earlier, there's always the chance that the market will eventually break to the upside. But as the afternoon went on, and we can see there the market struggling with the 200 MA once more, and then prices coming back to the 20 bar. We're getting close to the news now. We've got the crude oil numbers. So once again, decide to exit with a small loss there as prices came back. There was a sell signal, which I didn't take because we got the news. The news came out, as you'll see in just a moment as I have a look at the news. And I'll just wind that back. We had the crude oil figures, which used to be a high impact news item, and you'll see there was a minus 9 million barrels when it turns up in just a second, when it refreshes. Right, so you can see there it was minus 9, but once again we had a potential buy signal. I thought, well, I'll try it, because we've got a break at some point. And the market failed to do this yet again. We traded up to the scalp, and again you can see you've got that 200 MA and the BRN in the way there, and the prices came back again and then started to move to the downside, and once more we had a sell signal that was filled, and again the market stuck in a sideways move and then traded back down. And at this point again could see that it wasn't going to move lower, so pulled the trade, and again you'll see prices there starting to trade sideways and then move to the upside there. And then the last trade of the afternoon, again moving to the upside and just hitting the scalp with that resistance to the upside that we've seen all afternoon, as prices there just can't get through. There's absolutely nothing, and I think this is down to what happened in the morning session where we had, if I just go back to the morning and just wind this all the way up, we should be able to see, if I can find it somewhere around here, you can see the move there where it had just continued to, in one direction, move all the way to the upside. So I think by the time we got to the afternoon, I'll just wind this back, by 4 o'clock, the market was just hadn't got the energy. There was just no interest on the upside, and given that the ADP numbers were good as well, but it just didn't have that energy to do it. So interesting day actually, because we had the really good move in the morning, then the afternoon, you say, it just ran out of steam. So it'll be an interesting one to take note of. There's always something to be learned, and that becomes invaluable, and that is if you get a big monster move like you had in the morning, the afternoon will not tend to replicate this because of that lack of energy. If you made the money in the morning, as most of the pros will have done, they will stand aside in the afternoon, which again added to the lackluster sort of movement and lack of volatility. Okay, let's have a look and see what the market's done overnight and what we can expect from today's session. Okay, so let's just start off with the 2-minute overnight, but before we do that, notice that yesterday evening the DAX managed to take out the high that I'd actually put on the charts during yesterday's trading session at the 13318 level, and prices, as I move over, have continued to hold at this level. It's become a bit of a support, as you can see here. You've got prices desperate to get back above it and holding at this level at the moment and trading around here at this time. So let's just compress everything, have a look, see where we are. We're below the 200, but we're above the DP at the moment. We've got yesterday's high and close together here, which is also above that 200 MA, which the market will have to drive through. But from there to the upside, 13475 is available. But on the downside, of course, if the market does decide to move lower, you've got the DP there, and then quite a distance away for the S1. So quite a good range. Just want the volatility, and certainly want to see it improve from yesterday afternoon session, that's for sure. So on a closer sort of a micro there, you can see where we are at the moment. The market just trading sideways and trying to hold at the high that we have in this daily chart here, which goes back to here in July. The actual date, to be precise, is the 21st of July. And again, you can see the market's doing its best to try and hold. If not, then we work our way back. So I'll just have a bit of a clean up here. There's no sort, I can't draw in any fibs from here because this bar needs to complete, which is going to take today. But again, I'm not too concerned about that at the moment because I can take what's in the intraday with the pivot points and work that out. And let's have a look at the Dow, see where we are. This is the we want the daily chart, so you can see we've been marching to the upside. This is what's been dragging the DAX. Go to the weekly chart, you can see there the all-time high. We're not that far off now. This is going to pull all the other markets with it, although the S&P has already made a new high. Let's have a look at what I was talking about with the Dow and not implied, but the VIX volatility. And normally, as I've said before, with implied volatility, VIX volatility, when the market is moving higher, as in this case here you can see the underlying price is moving higher, then the volatility will drop, because the risk to the stock market is any move to the downside. And again, you'll see here where the volatility spikes when prices drop, and then as prices move to the upside they move lower, except down here you can see in this area, if I just remove the other arrows and then just redraw this, you can see that the volatility is actually moving higher with the underlying prices. Now something very strange is going on here as we head back to the all-time high. Is there a big correction coming in this market? I've never seen this before, where the two actually are together, where they're moving up as opposed to the opposite direction to one another. So very interesting thing going on here. Speaking of volatility, it's also spiked up in the implied volatility. The VIX is slightly different. This is the volatility based on the options premium, and you can see this is above the 20-bar moving average, and also we're still getting the amber dots in this chart as well, but we're still way above the 20-bar moving average in the Dow there. News for today. Let's have a quick refresh, see where we are. Thursday, we've got the unemployment count at 130. Bailey is speaking again at 3 p.m. We've got the manufacturing figures out as well. And then tomorrow, we've got the big one with the non-farm payrolls. The ADP came out yesterday, and it was slightly disappointing. Let me just see if I can find you that. Might be a second or two. Let's just have a look. Here we go. Yeah, they forecast 1.2 million new jobs. It came out at 428, but the market held, of course, because there was always intervention by the Fed to hold the stock market on the highs. And then finally, let's have a quick look at the silver market, and you can see that prices are sitting at the 20-bar moving average. If this comes lower, I'll be still looking to buy at the 26 level. A lot of support in this area if we get a pullback on the silver market. And then finally, just a quick look at the dollar as well, and you can see at the moment this is moving higher, which is why silver is moving to the downside there. Okay, that will do it for this one. Let's see what the market does this morning. Hopefully we'll get a repetition of yesterday, but not so for the afternoon. As ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.